Michael, first off, congrats on Arthur the King. It's an incredible true story, and I'm glad it got captured so well on film as well. How has it been seeing your story reach a whole new audience? Because, it did go around internationally the first time when it happened, but it has to be remarkable seeing so many new people find out through the film and then learning about the real story afterwards and everything like that. So how has that been?
It's everything with the movie coming out now is a totally new experience from me, of course. And but I feel proud. I feel proud of all the messages I get every day, and all the love, and so yeah, I just feel enormous, happy with what we have done with the movie, and to be in the middle of everything, to experience this new thing. It's been a roller coaster emotional, and with that said, I'm very, very proud what we have done so far.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have gotten a better actor to play you in the film than Mark Wahlberg. How was it working with him? He said, and being on set, how was that experience?
Mark is very professional. The first day we had there, we sat on the dinner, said like, Michael, we need to go up early, and to start the day early to get everything in shape for this role and this movie, and he he actually did that. So he was like up to 2:30 every day, trained for 2-3 hours, and then he read the scripts. He was always, when the sun came up, he was ready, and to see him on set, like, we have, one of the monologues in the movie is taking a couple of minutes, and he did that like 8 times, and uh, and he never stumbled a word. I think that shows 100% what's. No, he's a great actor. He's a good guy. He's a top athlete and a true entrepreneur. I only have like positive things to say.
Yeah, and we all know Mark is willing to go all out physically for his roles, but what amazed me was the whole cast was like going very, it was a very physically demanding movie, and everybody was so willing to do these different scenes. How impressed were you that all these big name actors were willing to, really put their bodies through the ringer there for this film?
Um, yeah, so I'm so impressed of everyone. Like, Natalie, she's doing great, with all the stunts and the wire. He's also Simu. He's a super great guy. We had so much fun. Played a lot of basketball, but he also, like, all the details, I have from my sports. They adopt them and use it in the movies. You can see it. Like, if you're really, really nerd, you can see a lot of that in this movie.
And I wanted to ask you about the actual events and what was just your reaction when you'd fed this dog the meatballs once, and then when you reconnected with the same exact dog later on, was it like disbelief? Like it's an incredible story that he wound up meeting you again.
The first, when I did it first, if this was happening in Ecuador for the real thing, the movies played in DR. But the first time, I didn't know that it was the same dog. I couldn't imagine that he'd been following us for so long time, and but then I saw, because he had this deep wound on his back, so I recognized him from that. But also, like, you know. And at that point, I didn't know that we would be together for 6 years from that moment. And so it was many things that happened. I was middle of the race too, so it was not like I was thinking, okay, we bring this dog along. That was nothing that I was even think about. So it was more like, yeah, it will be turnaround. Like, because I've been racing for 20 years, and I've been in South America, I've been in China, I've been in a lot of countries where you have dogs out there and around you. And I fed dogs and animals before, but I never, like, experienced nothing like that, like this, when you kind of you know, you have a dog that follows you for so long time through the jungles and obstacles and everything we did together. Like, I don't know, I never experienced before, and I doubt I will do it again, but for sure it was meant to be.
And what really astounded me looking into the real story, obviously they add drama for the movie and they make slight tweaks and changes. But I thought the scene where they were like, "Oh, you can't have the dog on the boat; he has to stay back." I thought like that was all completely created for the movie, and then I was looking it up, and that actually happened, that scene. So like, were you surprised that a lot of your real story got through and there weren't like a ton of sweeping changes to made more dramatic?
To be honest, I think like the real deal was even sometimes even things that obviously it's a Hollywood production, so you need to change some facts and do things so it fits the screen. But I don't think maybe the zip line thing was a little bit too maybe a little bit over the top that
Yeah,
I've been to, but otherwise I think the movie almost downplays stuff. You know, when we were on that cliff for real, you know, that was gnarly. That was super close to take one step too further. And also like everything with Arthur, the you know, to take him home and everything, that was even harder than it looks in the movie, I would say.
that's incredible. And then my last question for you, I wasn't really familiar with adventure racing until I watched the film. How did you kind of get involved in the sport?
Oh, I started back in end of 1990, 97. I think I did my first race, and I did my military service. I had like get a little taste of adventure, and I was hooked from the first time. I was like, okay, I want to do this. I was not good. I was mediocre, but I felt like this is something I really want to put my soul and energy into, and it kept me going for almost 2 decades. So yeah.